All the links to the original posts are given in the description. So now let's head straight to the video.
My girlfriend of nearly 7 years confessed to me 5 days ago that she cheated on me 2 years into our relationship. We met on a dating app Halloween night 2016. I had just turned 21 and had been in only one serious relationship until that point, which had lasted 6 months and ended with me being cheated on, but thankfully she confessed right away. I was definitely looking for a partner and talked to a variety of potentials, but we just clicked. We talked for about 2 weeks, mostly PG, but towards the end it started getting sexual and it was obvious there was attraction. Mid-November was the first time we met. I drove 2 hours to hang out with her while her mom was away, and we hooked up. In the following weeks she let me know she would be moving an 8-hour drive away. We weren't official at this point, but I did feel strong emotions towards her, so I asked her to be mine the weekend she moved away. I reassured her I would visit her and that it would work out. For the next 2.5 years we went back and forth visiting each other. I even hopped on a plane for the first time in my life to go see her. We've lived together since summer 2019, and up until a few days ago we're finally going to rent our own spot. I've never suspected she could be unfaithful because of how she has shown genuine care and support for myself and my family. We've been together for some of the most memorable events of each other's lives, even adopted 2 cats a few months ago. The last 2 weeks have been especially fun since we started going out to places more. For the first time in years I felt good about where I was in life, and I was super excited looking forward. Sunday morning was normal. She got up and went to church while I slept in. I got the call right around noon. She sounded distraught. "I really need to talk to you. Can you meet me in the car?" I figured maybe she had an argument with our friend she usually goes to church with, or some other issue not related to the relationship. When I went in her car she was already sobbing. "I love you now more than ever," she said. I don't recall how exactly the words went, but she began explaining to me how on Halloween night 2018 she went out to an event with 2 of her co-workers, one guy and one girl. After the event was over, GF dropped off the girl because her drop-off point was closest. Not sure at what point GF decided to let the guy drive. By the time she realized that they were in a parking lot and she didn't know where they were. She explains to me how she had never had any ideas about this guy or any attraction at all, but he was being really pushy about getting any action. Thinking about what happened next really messes with my head. He convinces her to make out for how long, but once she tried to say enough he kept pushing for more. Eventually they hop in the backseat and the dirty deed is done. According to her, she started crying not long after they started, and when the guy noticed he stops, grabs her phone and blocks himself from her Snapchat. My GF still worked there for a while, but she says they had 0 contact afterwards and would avoid him all the time after. The way I see it, she had so many options, but she chose to cheat on me with someone she wasn't even attracted to, out of pity and weakness to stand up for herself. Now, I do believe her when she says it all came down to being pressured and confused. She's a super nice person, shy and reserved, and I could see how she could have been coerced back then. It still doesn't change the fact that it happened and I've been lied to for the past 5 years. Once it settled, and on Sunday night we talked again, and it ended with me asking for space away from her, which she respected, and stayed with her friend the 2 following nights. On Tuesday we talked after work and decided to try to work things through. She moved back in that night, and every night since then we've been especially on each other. I still feel that I love her, but there's something missing. It's definitely the trust, but maybe more than that. I've woken up from nightmares the past 2 nights, and they both included themes of being betrayed by her or being made to feel like I'm not enough. In struggling to choose where to go from here. I really want it to work, but the trust is broken and I'm not sure if he'll ever get it back. I'm afraid staying with her will end up bad for the both of us. Should I risk the pain of being hurt again or put myself through the pain of letting her go? I haven't told anyone about this, and I'd really appreciate advice from someone who has been through similar or feels they have something of value to say. Some comments by the community. Comment 1. Not buying her story, sorry. The way she tells it, she was raped by a co-worker. I find that very hard to believe here. I think far more likely is that early in your relationship, when it was admittedly fragile, she had drunken sex in her car with a co-worker on the way home after too much alcohol that she regretted. Now that the relationship with you is serious, the guilt is bothering her and she's worried this could come out and blow that up. That's why she said "I love you now more than ever." She used this sexual assault angle to try to risk revealing this, since most people would walk after hearing it. Frankly, it's pretty insulting to real victims if this is the case. If not, why would she have said she cheated and not said she was raped? Ask her if she's ready now to file charges against the guy for raping her. Tell her you want to confront him about it. See how quickly she backs way down from that. End this and move on. Comment 2. This sounds suspicious to me. I would at least give yourself 3 minutes 4 weeks of space to think. If she panics and starts getting ultra clingy, not wanting to leave, red flag. They'll be freaked. You'll come to your senses if you have time alone to think. Waterworks incoming. If she was pressured, why would she continue to work with that person? Or not mention she was assaulted if it was serious? Is there any way to see if she has him on any of her sock media? I would bet it happened more than once, probably the rest of the time she worked there and after. She probably went to church, felt guilty, and is trickle-truthing you. You can have a serious sit down and ask to see her phone. If she hasn't wiped everything, she'll probably panic and resist. Another red flag. Might say, don't you trust me? You tell them to show you they can be trusted. If you don't want to check her phone, then ask her if it happened more than once. Almost guarantee she will confess to more if you keep up the pressure. Something like, okay, we kissed once or a few more times after, but it was only cause she was drunk. Wise. Or if it did stop, it's cause he lost interest or wasn't going to commit to her. You're a placeholder till she finds the next chump. Then comes the love bombing. I never felt this way about anyone before. No one gets me the way you do. I wouldn't never hurt you on purpose. I'll never do it again. Super Swearsy's face with rolling eyes manipulation. If she loved you, she wouldn't told you sooner and not kept you in the dark. By keeping this secret, she stole 5 years of your time you can't get back. This alone is unforgivable. Next comes the sex. She's going to come at you hard like never before. I recommend you have the serious conversation somewhere public or in a car. Something where you have a way out. They're looking for any way to get their claws into you. Resist. Then come the tears. Oscar-worthy tears. The harder they cries, the guiltier. You're going to think to yourself, why would someone that cheated try so hard to convince me? Why wouldn't they just go with the other person? The other person probably recently moved on and just realized she'll just settle for you till she finds the next fling. I could be wrong and reading too into things, but if I am right, cut contact and start therapy ASAP. You don't give them a second chance. Cheaters will always cheat. Block and delete them from everything. You will get calls from blocked #S. Never give a cheater a chance to explain. Absolutely no good comes from any form of communication with them. She might even show up to your place. Absolutely do not let her in. If I'm right, understand it's not your fault. You were just a trusting partner. Best advice I can give is to be thankful it wasn't longer and there aren't any kids involved, and now you have time to find the right person for you. If I'm wrong, this relationship is still over. There's no coming back once the trust is broken. You'll want to make it work because you've spent so much time with this person. You'll turn into someone you don't want to be, trying to make it work. Stressed and paranoid, worrying if they are where they say they are or doing what they say they're doing. She kept this secret too long. No one is worth what it will do to you. Cut your losses, start therapy, pick up a hobby, exercise, and you will find someone. Even if you don't, being alone is better than being used. The Opus replied to this comment. Thanks for your reply. Definitely have been wanting to pry further as I feel there's more to it or it could have happened again. We know each other's phone passwords and I haven't seen anything weird there, but at this point that doesn't mean anything. Comment 3. Suo. I'm going to guess you guys come from the kinds of religious communities who don't teach a lot about the world, especially with these mentions of church and doing the deed, so I'm also going to guess you two were at that time somewhat pretty innocent. By sheer idiocy, innocence, she let her only company leave her alone with a guy she barely knew, and worse, let him drive. Then she was left in the middle of nowhere with someone she didn't know who kept pressuring her to have sex, and who the fuck knows, could have killed her if she said no. I hope you see where I'm going. I don't think she cheated on you. I think she was raped. The sad part is that I see why she never told you. She felt so ashamed by that she couldn't risk telling you because she knew this is how you would interpret it, and she couldn't bear to lose the guy she loves so much. And before anyone says then she should have told him. It's never that simple, and if trying to see her perspective, as alien as it is to you, is not feasible, I don't know what you're doing here. She told you she was raped, and your first thought was of yourself. Of course you are valid in the feelings that are coming to you, but at least try to consider that she might have just told you about the most traumatic experience of her life to you, and she needs help dealing with it, if not from you, at least from a professional. You do too, BTW. Pretty clear you have some shit to deal with a therapist that is long overdue. In any case, if you want to work together on this, first step, professional help. Second step, listen to each other and empathize with your partner's perspectives. Third step, support each other and build trust. Fourth step, profit. Now let's move on to the next story. My partner went to sleep crying on her birthday and I don't know how to make up to her. Hi friends. So, a little background to the title is a must. My partner had her birthday the other day. I baked her a cake. We had a romantic evening with wine and cheese, and her friends came over and surprised her. All in all, she was happy and just kept telling me what a fun day she had. When we went to bed, trouble came. She asked me for some tinglies. Basically, she likes it when I run my fingers through her hair, or whisper in her ear, or just draw on her back. I told her I was too tired, as we stayed up later than usual with her friends and I was not up for it. This turned into a small argument where she said that it's the only thing she wanted, and that I haven't been doing it for her lately, and that I thought that at least on her birthday I could do it for her, etc., etc. Then, it turned to tears. Please note that after offering to do it for her anyways, she said no because she was too upset. Now, she has barely spoken to me the last few days. She said she feels like I need to make it up to her somehow, and the fact that I haven't done so yet and just said I was sorry wasn't good enough. Here's where two gals can help. Is there anything that I can do to remedy this? We have been together for 5 years and this is TGE first time I'm feeling lost as to how I can make up to her. Side note, we live in Israel, where there's currently a war going on, so going out to eat is out of the question. Please help. Thank, friends. Edit. Guys, I know it's difficult to keep your opinions to yourselves, but I really don't think this post is the place to begin the whole Israel is wrong or Jews deserve to die or even destroy Palestine. Not the place. If you feel strongly about it, I am happy to discuss anything in private. This place should be supportive and wholesome regardless of my place of birth, residence. Otherwise it seems a little anti-Semitic. Don't be those guys, please. Some comments by the community. Comment 1. The first question is, why haven't you been doing it lately? Because if it's gotten to the point where you haven't initiated it to the point she waited until her birthday, the one night she was sure she wouldn't be rejected, and then you rejected her. This is not about one specific occurrence. She's feeling like you are distancing yourself from her, and she doesn't want to have to ask for your affection. And before anyone jumps on me, no, you don't owe it to her, but it's obvious something has changed that she noticed and it's having an effect on her. So the two of you need to talk about what's going on. Saying sorry doesn't always fix the hurt. She needs to feel wanted, and she wants closeness with you. The problem now is getting past the hurt so you can get to the closeness. Comment 2. It sounds like you got caught up in giving her the romantic gesture you think she wanted, instead of what she did want. I don't think you can make it up to her. Another grand romantic gesture is just doubling down on the issue. But I do think that you can apologize. Tell her that you got so caught up in a romantic gesture that you lost sight of her birthday. Tell her from the heart why you have been slacking in that department. Then come up with a plan to be better. For example, date nights or coming to bed early a couple nights a week. Tell her your ideas and ask for hers. Then stick to it. She may feel rejected and unattractive. You aren't responsible for her feelings, but you can own it if you have been letting stress distract you from being present in your relationship. Comment 3. Hey, so, this is kind of random, but I am autistic, and because of that I don't like to be touched very much. My husband loves being pet on. It's his love language. It took me literally 10 years to figure out that he likes any kind of touch, even just me stimming on him. He used to get grumpy before because he would get touch starved. It sounds like your wife is a lot like him. She needs your touch to feel comfort, love, and intimacy. I would start giving her more of the touches she craves more often, maybe random times throughout the day. Just come up behind her and whisper in her ear a bit, whatever she likes. Figure it out. Or sit down and talk it out. Ask her what kind of touches she likes. Also, there's this cool app called the Love Nudge app that I used with my husband to learn about our love languages. You can both use it for free and it helps you figure out cute ways to be kind to your partner. You can even set little reminders for yourself to give her presents, love, etc. Now let's move to the third story. Girlfriend called me disrespectful for planning to go hiking with a friend. My partner and I share a few interests, but also have a few that are completely different. For me, I like being outdoors and going on nice walk in nature, hikes, etc. We live in a part of the UK that doesn't have a lot of nice places to go walking, hiking, so I like to go when I get the opportunity. Since my girlfriend doesn't share the interest, it can be quite boring at times being on my own. My girlfriend and I went for drinks with a mutual friend. The mutual friend was initially just a friend of my GFS, but we've all met up a few times and she's more of a mutual friend now. We were talking about the area and our friend mentioned a nice place she likes to go hiking nearby. My girlfriend mentioned that it's something I would enjoy, but that it's not for her, so I never have anyone to go with. I said that I'd have to check it out and she mentioned that she was planning to go the following weekend and asked if I'd like to join her. She told my girlfriend she was obviously also invited. I accepted the invitation and my girlfriend declined it. When we got home, my girlfriend got annoyed and said I should have said no to going. I asked why and she said it's weird, I'm planning to spend a day along hiking with another woman. I pointed out she was more than welcome to join us, but she refused, so it's not like we made the plans specifically to be alone. I told her that she knew I wanted someone to go hiking with and it's nice not going on my own at times. She said it's disrespectful and that I should cancel. I refused and she accused me of not respecting her and not considering her feelings. How would you handle this? TLDR, my girlfriend got angry when I planned to go hiking with a mutual friend. She said I was being disrespectful and shouldn't be spending the day with another woman. How would you handle this? Some comments by the community. Comment 1. It doesn't seem like the issue is that you made plans to do something. The issue seems to be more that you're doing it alone with her female friend. Mix of jealousy is likely getting to her. Talk to her about it and try your best to be respectful to her as a partner if you want your relationship to last. Comment 2. Personally, I do not see the issue, though I also trust my husband and have no concerns about him doing stuff he enjoys that I do not enjoy with other people. Your girlfriend doesn't like hiking. Mention the hike is something you'd enjoy. It's generally better to hike with at least one other person, so this all logically makes sense. I don't personally think you need to do everything with your partner, and it's good to have different interests, and not 100% the same thing. I like sports. My husband does not. I have often gone to sports events with male friends because they enjoy it, while my husband would be bored out of his mind. My husband enjoys running marathons. I do not. He trains with a neighbor who is a female. I do not care. I'd rather he do something he enjoys with someone who can help him train, and I'll do the cheering at the end of the course. Comment 3. This reminds me of a story I read a year back on Facebook. Opus's girlfriend and a mutual guy friend enjoys chasing sunrises. They do those flashy Pinterest stuff. Since Opus works the late shift, it was hard for him to join the following morning. He had reservations about it, but decided to trust his girlfriend. Over time, she started to have an emotional attachment to the mutual friend and started to distance herself from Opus. Eventually, she broke up with Opus. Not saying that your situation is the same, but it creates an environment where emotional cheating can creep up. I suggest finding additional mutual friends to go on the walk with you guys to ease your girlfriend's mind. If you like the story, hit the like and don't forget to subscribe the channel, and thanks for watching.